Loving Sai Ram and greetings from Prashanti Nilayam. Today I would like to begin by playing a clip from one of Swami's discourses.
తన యొక్క కుమారులను చంపినటువంటి యొక్క అశ్వత్థామ వచ్చాడు.
Ashwatthama who killed sons.
అతన్ని చేతులు పట్టుకొని ప్రార్థిస్తూ ఉండాలి ద్రౌపది.
Draupadi catching hold of the hands of Ashwatthama. She was praying, Swami,
ఉద్రేకమున రారు.
they have not come here out of anger.
శస్త్రధరులై యుద్ధామని లేరు.
They are not here in the battlefield with the weapons.
కించిత్ ద్రోహమును నీకు చేయరు.
They have not harmed you.
బలోచ్ఛేకముతో చీకటిని భద్రాశక్తులు సంహరింప అకటా నీ చేతులు ఎట్టాడను అని ప్రార్థిస్తుండాలి.
She went on pleading with him, telling that they have not harmed you. They were fast asleep in the midnight. Yet you have come prepared to kill them.
ఆ ప్రార్థనలు విన్నటువంటి భీమునికి కండలు ఉడికినాయి.
In fact, Bhima was full of fury and anger.
ఇలాంటి దుర్మార్గుని ప్రార్థించటమా?
Is it necessary to pray to such a wicked
కుమారులు
man?
నిద్రించేటువంటి కుమారులు గొంతులు కోసినటువంటి దుర్మార్గుని మనం క్షమించటమా?
Are you going to forgive the person who has beheaded your son?
క్షమించకూడదు.
You should now pardon him.
వీన్ని ఏమాత్రమైన కూడా నువ్వు క్షమించక వీన్ని సంహరించి పంపించాలి అనింది.
You should not pardon him, you should kill him right now, says Bhima.
అప్పుడు ద్రౌపది కూడా ఎంత బోధ చేసింది.
What a teaching that Draupadi gave at that moment.
విశ్వస్తుత్యుడు, మహావీరుడు, ఘోరాసచే అశ్వత్థామ శిరోజమును తరిగి చూడాంతర్మహారత్నమును శశ్వత్కీర్తి వెరింగపుచ్చుకొని పాశౌరాత బంధములను విశ్వాసమును నూర్చిద్రొబ్బు శిబిరోర్ విభాగమును బాసిపోను. మీ మాటను మీరు దక్కించుకోవాలనుకుంటే అతన్ని చంపనక్కర్లేదు.
In fact, if you want to revenge, you don't need to kill him.
ఇంతియే కాక అర్జున, ఈ యొక్క పేరు సార్థకమైనటువంటిది.
Arjuna, you have got their deserving.
పవిత్రమైనటువంటి యొక్క పేరు.
You have a sacred name.
అర్జున అనగా ఏమిటి? నిర్మలమైన, నిశ్చలమైన, నిస్వార్థమైనటువంటి యొక్క గుణం కలిగినటువంటి వాడు.
Arjuna meant pure, unpolluted, unsullied.
అలాంటి అర్జునుడు,
Such Arjuna,
అనేక విధములుగా తనను శిక్షించడానికి సిద్ధంగా ఉండినప్పుడు,
though ready to punish in every possible way,
అప్పుడు ద్రౌపది బోధిస్తూ ఉంటుండాలి.
then Draupadi started teaching,
నాథ, ఇటువంటి బ్రాహ్మణుని, ఇటువంటి గురుపుత్రుణ్ణి మీరు సంహరించటము మహాపాపము.
It's worst of the sins if you kill the son of your guru, the preceptor, Abraham.
ఇది నీవు చేయవలసినటువంటి పని.
Is the thing that you're supposed
నా
to do?
పుత్రులను నేను పోగొట్టుకున్నాను.
I lost my children.
నాకింక తప్పినది కాదు ఈ దుఃఖము.
I could not escape from misery.
కానీ ఆ అశ్వత్థామ యొక్క తల్లి ఎంత దుఃఖిస్తుందో ఏమిటో.
So also the mother of Ashwatthama would suffer.
కనుకనే ఆమె దుఃఖములకు నేను గురి కాకూడదు.
I should not be responsible for her sadness.
ఎలాంటి స్త్రీలు ఆనాడు భారతదేశం నందు గొప్ప కీర్తిని సాధించారు.
What type of exalted ladies lived in this country?
Swami has recalled this incident from the Mahabharata many times. We are all very familiar with it. By way of avenging the death of his father Dronacharya in battle, his son Ashwatthama hunted out the children of the Pandavas, Upapandavas as they were known, and mercilessly slaughtered them while they were asleep. Arjuna then went in search of Ashwatthama and apprehended him. He dragged Ashwatthama to the presence of his wife Draupadi and was getting ready to annihilate him. And that was when Draupadi prayed that Ashwatthama's life be spared. She did not want Ashwatthama's mother to suffer the same agony she was going through. Baba holds Draupadi in very great esteem, and Swami's voice when he speaks of Draupadi is proof enough. Now, why am I bringing this up? For a very good reason. About a month or so ago, I heard a radio broadcast that featured a brief interview with an American lady. This lady had lost her husband on September 11th, 2001 in the attack on the Pentagon in Washington. A few weeks later, there was a memorial service for her husband. And when she returned home, She switched on the TV. She then heard that Afghanistan was being bombed. Describing the horror she felt, this lady said, "I was thinking of the women who would be losing their husbands and sons in this bombing. Just because I had lost my husband, I did not feel that others also should suffer. I was all the time thinking of the agony the women in that far-off land would be going through." When I heard this, I was instantly reminded of Swami's observations about Draupadi. The American lady continued, "I then went to Afghanistan myself. It was not easy, but I had to go to console the women who would be suffering. When I went there, I saw the pitiable condition many of them were in. Husbands gone, elder sons killed, and younger children left behind. No possessions, no house, and no money. It was bitterly cold, and as if this was not enough, they were all hungry." Moved by this suffering, this lady on return to America raised funds for helping the destitute Afghan women. At this point, the interviewer asked, "Did not people here object? Did they not ask you, why are you trying to help the enemy?" The American lady replied, "Yes, I did receive a lot of hate mail. But I also received a lot of mail in support of what I was doing. In fact, I received more support mail than hate mail. These people were all afraid to speak out, but their heart was in the right place. They had no hatred towards the people of Afghanistan." Now, this interview reveals that there are many noble-hearted people in this world whom we have never heard of. They are not Sai devotees, but they sure have God in their heart. Some people I know tend to feel superior because they are Sai devotees. I have heard many brag, "Oh, I have been a devotee for 30 years," and so on. This is most unfortunate. It just means that they have not heard carefully what Swami has been saying or have studied his teachings with a discerning eye. In fact, in his recent Ugadi discourse, Baba sternly disapproved of advertising oneself as a devotee of Swami. Rather, he wanted our devotion for Swami to proclaim itself through loving service. Incidentally, I am here reminded of a very nice saying by Marcus Aurelius, who observes, "Nothing is more scandalous than a person being proud of his humility." So next time we try to proudly tell someone how long we have been with Baba, maybe we would do well to recall this statement. God resides in every being, and divine feelings of compassion, forbearance, etc. are latent in all without exception. In sensitive individuals, these noble qualities find an outlet automatically. And when a person gives expression to feelings of compassion or forbearance, that person automatically becomes dear to God. It is not necessary for us to imagine that being a Sai devotee alone makes one eligible to become dear to God. I am not saying that all have this feeling of superiority about being a Sai devotee, but some certainly appear to. They feel that Sai devotees are special. Yes, Sai devotees are special in the sense that they have been singled out for a possible role in the avatar's mission. But it is not always that everyone does justice to the role assigned. The world is full of people who serve God in their own respective ways. Since all names are that of Sai, these people, unknowingly perhaps, also serve Sai, though they may not use this particular name. In this context, I recall a conversation I once had with Mr. Narsimurti of Vrindavan. As you perhaps know, he is currently the warden of the Vrindavan campus of Swami's Institute. Incidentally, Radio Sai broadcast some time ago a talk by Narsimurti describing how he came to Swami. In this particular conversation we had, Narsimurti told me, if Swami wants, he can make the whole world come to him this very instant. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But he has his own timetable. He knows that if everyone in the world becomes a Sai devotee right now, we in Vrindavan would have a most difficult time. Where is the space to seat all these people? Where is the accommodation and where is the canteen to feed all these people? Swami knows how to increase the devotee crowd progressively. Living as I do in Prasanthi Nilayam, I can say that he sure does. Now there are 2 points here. The first is, what about those so-called left out people? And the second is, what about those that have been selected to be Sai devotees right now? Well, as regards the first, no one who intensely pines for God is really left out. Let me narrate an incident by way of substantiating this claim. Many years ago, a devout Muslim lady in the southern state of Kerala in India became quite ill. She suffered a lot of pain and could not bear it. Constantly she prayed, Allah, please either cure me or take me. I just cannot bear this pain. One night, this Muslim lady had a dream. Baba appeared before her and said, I am the Allah you are praying to. Don't worry, you will become all right. Next morning when she got up, she recalled her dream. She knew nothing about Swami and wondered, Allah is not supposed to have a form. But a person appeared before me and said he was Allah. What does it all mean? She did not know whether to believe in her dream or not. However, exactly as had been promised in her dream, within a few days she got completely cured. She was very happy, but even more mystified. She just could not understand who had cured her. Soon after this, one day this lady visited the house of a friend of hers. As she entered the house of this other lady, she saw at the entrance a large photo of Swami with a beautiful smile on his face. The Muslim lady stood there frozen, staring at the picture. She then asked the lady of the house, who is this person in the picture? The other lady replied, oh, that is Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Do you mean to say that such a person actually exists? Yes, of course. Where? In Puttaparthi. Where is this Puttaparthi and how can I go there? Well, I am going there next week for Seva Dal work or service, and if you wish, you can come along with me. The Muslim lady said, I would very much like to. And then her host asked, very good, but why are you so anxious to go to Puttaparthi? The Muslim lady then narrated her extraordinary experience. In one of the bhajans that we sing, there occur the words, Jo naam chahe, wo naam bolo, prem se bolo, bhav se bolo. You can call me by the name of your choice, but do so with love and do so with feeling. This is what Swami tells us again and again. Call me by any name at any time and at any place, I shall respond without fail. Indeed, he does, as this episode reveals. He has been doing so from times immemorial, and he will go on doing so till the end of time. God always responds to his calls, provided the requisite faith is there. So you see, Swami responds, even if the person does not know about the form in which God is now moving amongst us. I am sure you have heard many stories about how Swami suddenly appeared in some far-off country before a person or persons who knew nothing about him. You must have heard about the experience of James Sinclair in America. In fact, this experience was included in the special program broadcast on March 2nd. There are thousands of such experiences that people have had all over the world. Now let me move on to the second point. What is special, if at all, about those who have received the blessing of being called to the divine presence of Sai? Well, there is something special. We have all been given a special opportunity to redeem ourselves. We have not been selected because we have earned more merit than others. Rather, we are the stragglers who have been taken by the hand by a kind providence, so that, benefiting from divine proximity, we improve ourselves. There are plenty of saints and sages even now who are ardently devoted to God. I am sure Swami is revealing himself to them in his own subtle way. In fact, Swami has said so many times in earlier years, as far as we are concerned, many of us, and myself included, we are all like the backward student whom the kind master has taken personal charge of in order to see him through. At least where I am concerned, I think this is the situation. Why else should I have the chance to hear so many of Swami's discourses? And so the big question for me is, am I really benefiting by listening to Swami? Am I following his commands meticulously? Have I absorbed his teachings and put them into practice, at least in a small measure? All of us need to introspect in this manner. There is a definite reason for my suggesting this. If you look at Sai history, you will find that over the years there have been many people who have been supposedly close to Swami, but later they faded away into oblivion. I can count at least a dozen of whom I have seen personally. They all came blazing like a comet, only to go away later and disappear. And in every case, it has been lack of application. The moral of it all is that we cannot feel overconfident and too sure of ourselves. We have been blessed and given a very special opportunity that many would simply die to have. But due to carelessness, we can also blow our chance. And if we do so, we would be the losers. Now, why on earth do people miss a golden opportunity? Surely people are not fools. No, they are not. But humans have a tendency to become easily complacent and take things for granted. And that is one thing we dare not do where God is concerned. God can never be fooled, though he might tend to give the impression that he is being taken in. I would like to conclude by recalling what Mr. Robert Bozani often says. He, by the way, is the person who is running the Tustin Book Center in America, founded by Walter Cowan, was brought back to life by Baba in the early 70s. Bozani often says, and he has told me also, do you know how fortunate we are to be able to see Baba and what he is doing for humanity? Years hence, when we tell about this to a younger generation, they would ask wide-eyed, do you mean to say that you actually saw Baba? You mean you actually talked with him? You have really touched him? Yes, that is how amazed people would be in the years to come when they hear of our blessings. Let us not foolishly get carried away and imagine ourselves to be superior to those who are not aware of the Sai Avatar. For his own reasons, Swami has ordained that they be devoted to him via other forms, and in adoration of their own chosen forms, they also serve God in their own way. God is interested only in the quality of the service rendered to him and not in the name that we adore. This we should never forget. Jai Sai Ram.